Good morning, viewers. The previous class I have discussed about the family life of the Egyptian civilization. Right. Next, I will discuss the food. What was the food life of this Egyptian civilization? Listen. The staple food of the Egyptian consisted of bread made from wheat and beer made from barley, wheat and barley, the beer made from barley. They are also fruits and vegetables. They ate what things they ate. They ate also fruits and vegetable, meat and dairy products. So the food chain was there in that civilization. The bread made from wheat and beer made from barley. They ate also fruit. They also fruits and fruit and vegetables, meat and dairy products. Okay. Next, I will discuss about the dress of this Egyptian people. Okay, what was the dress of the Egyptian people? Then I will discuss it. The Egyptian generally wore little clothing because of the hot climate. The Egyptian generally wore little clothing because of the hot climate. The clothes that they wore were made of linen. The clothes that they wore were made of which things? The things was linen. Men wore loincloth and women wore long. Men wore loincloth, means short cloth, and women wore long. Tight fitting dresses with shoulder straps. Tight fitting dresses with shoulder straps. Both men and women loved ornaments. Okay, ornaments with jewelry and cosmetics. Necklace, earring, the bangles and rings were some popular ornaments. Okay. This jewelry ornaments means the synonym of jewelry's ornaments. Right? Next, I will discuss the houses of Egyptian civilization. The Egyptian made houses of mud bricks. Mind it, the Egyptian made houses of mud bricks. Mind it, these points. Dried in the sun. The houses had airy rooms with tiny windows. Okay, air come and air go over. Okay, and tiny window. Tiny means short windows, very small windows. Very small windows. Okay, these windows set high on the walls to keep out the sun. The windows set high on the walls to keep out the sun and let the daylight enter. Okay, next is called occupations. Occupations, what were the occupations of the Egyptian civilization? Occupations are agriculture. Agriculture was the main occupation of the Egyptians. Okay, question may be asked, what was the occupations of this Egyptian civilization, Egyptian people? Agriculture was the main occupation of this Egyptian people. Okay, the fertile Nile Valley and an improved irrigation system meant that they could grow a wide variety of crops. All throughout the year. Wide variety means the different variety of crops, the good variety of crops. Okay, they used a wooden hoe for plowing. Okay, wheat, barley, onions, peas, cotton, fruits, vegetables were the chief crops grown. What were the crops? Which crops were grown then? The crops are the wheat, barley, onions, peas, cotton, fruits and vegetables were the chief crops grown then. Fishing, poultry, carpentry, masonry work, weaving, etc. were the other important professions besides agriculture. Okay, another professions was agriculture was fishing. Okay, catch the fish. Poultry, carpentry. The carpenter, do you know the carpenter from this carpentry? The person who do the carpenter's work is called carpentry. Masonry work, weaving, etc. Were the other important professional besides agriculture. Okay. Next, the Great Pyramid of Giza is one of the 7 wonders of the world. The Great Pyramid at Giza is one of the 7 wonders of the world. The Egyptian also domesticated animals such as cows, sheep, goats, camels, donkeys and pigs. The Egyptian also domesticated animals such as, which animals they are domesticated? These are the such as cows, sheep, goats, camels, donkeys and pigs. Art and craft. art and craft flourished in Egypt. These were skilled craftspeople like carpenters, goldsmiths, weavers, sculptors, potters, and others. Art and craft flourished in Egypt. These were skilled crafts like people like carpenters, goldsmiths, weavers, sculptors, platters, and others. Next, fine cotton art and flax and textile were manufactured. These sculptures carved large stone statues of kings and gods. The Egyptian artisans built magnificent temples with pillared halls. Okay, fine cotton yarn and flax textile were manufactured. Okay, these sculptures carved large stone statues of kings and gods. The Egyptian artisan built magnificent temples with pillared halls. The walls of the tombs and temples were decorated with realistic and beautiful paintings. The walls of the tombs and temples were decorated with realistic and beautiful paintings. The pencil paintings dealt with the social life of the Egyptians. The paintings deal with the social life of the Egyptians. Beautiful glassware, the earthenware and woodwork were also produced in Egypt. Next, I will go to architecture. What was the architecture? Architecture is the Egyptian built some of the remarkable pieces of architecture such as pyramid and the sphinx. The Egyptians built some of the remarkable pieces of architecture like as pyramids and sphinx. There was a building of huge blocks of stone piled upon one another in triangular shape. These buildings show an amazing degree of engineering skill acquired by the Egyptians. Sphinx is a mythological figure with the body of a lion and the head of a man. It is carved out of a single block of stone. The temple, such as the one at Konarak, also the Egyptian craftsmanship. Okay. Sphinx is a mythological figure with the body of lion and head of the man. This is the main point. 10. Religion of and belief systems. And then I will discuss now about the religions of the Egyptian people. What was their religions? Egyptian worshipped various animals and forces of nature. Egypt worshipped various animals and forces of nature. The chief gods were Ra. The sun god and Osiris, the god of the head. They also worshipped animals such as jackal, bull, and crocodile. The pharaohs were also worshipped as gods. Temples were built in honor of their god. Temples were built in honor of their gods. Each god has its temple and praised. The Egyptians believed in the life after death. Therefore, they preserved the body of the dead by embalming it with some chemicals. These preserved bodies are known as mummies. Because of the belief in life after death, the mummies were buried along the articles of daily use. The pharaohs were buried along with foods. The pharaohs were buried along the food, wine, furniture, jewelry, and weapons in the pyramids. Okay, 11. Next, I will go to medicine. The medicine was Egyptian doctors and surgeons were renowned for their skills. They had deep knowledge of human body and its system. Doctors specialized in the treatment of eyes, teeth, etc. Trade and commerce. Next, I will discuss about trade and commerce. The Egyptian carried out both inland and foreign trade. Trade was controlled by the pharaohs. It was done in the form of barter system. Okay, the mediums of exchange were grain, silver, and copper. The Egyptian exported time, wheat, ornaments, and furniture. The Egyptian exported lime, wheat, ornaments means jewelry, and furniture. Furniture means asbab patr, which is says Bengali, not use Bengali, and imported gold, ivory, copper and cedar wood. Okay. Next, achievement of the Egyptian civilization. Also, achievement of the Egyptian civilization, writing. The Egyptian developed a form of writing called the hieroglyphic. In Greek, the word means sacred carvings. Okay, initially the Egyptian used picture-based script. Wait. Later on, they also developed a simplified alphabet which had 24 consonants and no vowels. Okay, listen. Say later they also developed a simplified alphabet which had 24 consonants and no vowels. The script was written from right to left. Okay. Now, initially, the Egyptians wrote on stone walls and clay tablets. Okay. Later, they used paper made from papyrus. They used paper made from papyrus and watered it. The ink they used for writing was made of soot, gum, and water. The Egyptian writing can be found on the walls of pyramids and tombs and on clay tablets. Okay. Next is Rosetta Stone. I will discuss Rosetta Stone. This is a variety of stone. Rosetta Stone. The discovery of Rosetta Stone in 1799 helped in their deciphering the hieroglyphic script. This stone contains 3 inscriptions. One is hieroglyphics, one in Demotic, and the last in Greek. French scholar J.F. Champlain was able to decipher hieroglyphics. By deciphering hieroglyphics, scholars learned most of what we know today of the ancient Egyptian life. Okay. Next, I will discuss the solar calendar. The Egyptian used also solar calendar. Now we use the calendar, right? We see date, year, okay, the holidays. Then they used the solar calendar. Okay, we will discuss about the solar calendar. What is the solar calendar? Look it. The Egyptians were the first to introduce solar calendar. They calculated the timing about the 2 annual floods in the river Nile and came up with the solar calendar that had 365 days. The calendar showed a year with 12 months, each having 30 days. The remaining 5 days were meant for religious celebrations. Astronomy. The Egyptians were the first to invent an instrument to observe the movement of stars and planets. The Egyptians knew about the stars and planets. They prepared an astronomical chart.